Hi students, welcome home to Mars. Today we shall continue with posterior triangle. It will be helpful if you could watch previous two videos of posterior triangle. Coming here, this is posterior triangle and we also discussed this muscle, that is inferior belly of omohyoid, is the key muscle which divided the entire posterior triangle into occipital triangle above and the smaller subclavian triangle below. With this drawing of the previous class, this muscle is inferior belly of omohyoid, the key muscle. So this is inferior belly of omohyoid, which has divided the posterior triangle into, this is occipital triangle, and the most important, the one we are going to discuss now, this is subclavian triangle. You can also call it as supraclavicular triangle. Now, what are the boundaries of this subclavian triangle? So this is above. So above it is bounded by inferior belly of omohyoid, whereas this is below. Below it is bounded by the middle 1/3 of clavicle, and this is front. So front it is bounded by sternocleidomastoid. Now what is the roof? Roof is formed by skin as usual, superficial fascia which contains platysma, and it has investing layer of deep cervical fascia. So just assume that this is investing layer of deep cervical fascia which will form the roof of subclavian triangle. This investing layer of deep cervical fascia is pierced by the supraclavicular nerves. So these are the three divisions of supraclavicular nerves which will form the roof, along with this is external jugular vein which will also pierce the investing layer of deep cervical fascia. It will form the roof. So we'll just mention here, these are supraclavicular nerves forming the roof, and this vein is external jugular vein forming the roof. Then what forms the floor? See, you have the first costal cartilage here, and this is the first rib. So we can only appreciate the outer border of the first rib. Outer border of first rib forming the floor. Now, on the outer border of the first rib, there are two muscles gaining attachment. One is scalenus medius, another is first digitation of serratus anterior. So, these two muscles will also form the floor, that is scalenus medius, and this muscle is first digitation of serratus anterior. So these three structures will form the floor. Scalenus anterior may not form the floor because it is being overlapped by this sternocleidomastoid. So now coming to the contents, remember it in this way. This is clavicle. So just beneath the clavicle, the vessels will be called as subclavian, below the clavicle. So first is subclavian vein, then subclavian artery, and then we have the three trunks of brachial plexus. So label the contents. This is subclavian vein. This is the most important content, subclavian artery, and these are the three trunks of brachial plexus. Now, how to remember the next content? See, when you draw the three trunks of brachial plexus, immediately try and recollect what are the branches from the upper trunk of brachial plexus. So, the first is suprascapular nerve and second is nerve to subclavius. So, the other two contents are, this is suprascapular nerve and this nerve is nerve to subclavius. Deep to this, there is also another nerve that comes from the roots, that is long thoracic nerve, and also we have the dorsal scapular nerve. So this is dorsal scapular nerve, which is the content, along with long thoracic nerve. This is dorsal scapular nerve. The arteries which form the content are, one is the suprascapular artery, then there is superficial cervical artery and also dorsal scapular artery. So this artery is suprascapular artery and this artery is superficial cervical artery. Then coming to the last but very important content, they are the lymph nodes. So these are the lymph nodes, also called as supraclavicular lymph nodes. So these are all the contents of subclavian triangle. We can use a simple mnemonic to remember these contents for the exam. That is, very smart students love nice, bright examples. So, very, V stands for the vein, that is subclavian vein. S stands for the artery, that is the most important content, that is subclavian artery. S again stands for the other arteries, that is suprascapular artery. We also have superficial cervical artery and dorsal scapular artery, which can arise independently. L stands for, that's the very important structure, that is lymph nodes. Lymph nodes, the supraclavicular lymph nodes. N stands for nerve to subclavius. Nerve to subclavius. The other nerves are suprascapular nerve. Also, you can involve here the long thoracic nerve and dorsal scapular nerve. B stands for the three trunks of brachial plexus and E stands for the terminal part of external jugular vein. So done with the boundaries and contents of posterior triangle. In the next class, we shall discuss the very important clinical correlation of posterior triangle. Thank you for watching and please share your valuable suggestions. This is Mars, where medicine meets meaning. Thank you.